Hi, I'm Roamy. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Mini Monkey baby carrier to carry a newborn in 2 different ways. Now, when you first get your Mini Monkey out of the bag, make sure you keep hold of the clip that's doing it up on the top. So to get it out, you just squeeze the clip and you bring it across, and it'll be attached to 2 little kind of tabs on the outside of the bag. Just make sure you keep that safe, because you're going to need that either on the front if you're wearing the strap straight, or when you're back carrying later on. So just make sure, yeah, you keep those somewhere safe. Right, I've got one out of the bag over here. So here's the carrier once it's out of the bag. And if you look at it, you've got the label, big white label on the back here, and then on the other side you've got the writing. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold it with the white label facing away from you like this, and then you're going to fold that over towards you. So you're folding the waistband in. Now, how high you put the waistband will be determined by firstly how tall you are, but also how big your baby is. So the higher the waistband goes, the shorter the panel will go over the back of your baby, and I'll explain that a bit more in a minute. What I've done is I've just clipped that together behind, and then to tighten it, just wriggle it left to right until it's nice and snug. So you want it tight like a belt, so it's snug but not uncomfortable. Okay, so the higher the waistband goes, the shorter the panel will be. So if I wear this nice and high here, when I hold baby against me, their bottom will be slightly over the panel like this, which then means that it goes shorter. So basically, the higher this is, the more fabric will tuck between you before it scoops up. So I've got a sort of newborn sized doll here. I'm going to wear this just around the bottom of my rib cage. So if your baby is a little bit smaller, you can make it higher, and I'll show you with the doll how you can check if it's the right height once you've brought it up. So I tend to do all the adjusting on this once it's clipped on, because then I find it easier to find the straps. So I've clipped this around so it's nice and snug. You've then got 2 straps here. Now they may be done up. If they are, undo them. And you can see you've got the bit with the clip and then the long piece here. Now you want to make sure that these are lengthened enough so that you can tighten them once it's on. So what I'm going to just do, just lengthening off these a little bit by lifting them. I'm just going to put these over my shoulders like that, and just what I'm going to do is reach around and just cross this over behind me, and the same on the other one. So reaching around and just literally crossing these 2 over, and then I'm just going to make sure I've got enough space for them at the tightness they're at that I will be able to fit my baby in. It's just because with these particular straps you can't loosen them once it's on you, so you need to make sure that this space is more than you need. So yeah, pulling that, that's looking great. So if I needed to loosen them anymore, if I unclip these, just bring these down over, and to loosen them, what you do is you lift this clip here. So I've got the buckle bit and then the tightener bit there. Just lift that and pull the buckle through so it slides. So if I don't lift it and I pull, it doesn't move. If I lift that, it pulls through. Okay, so you just need to make sure that you've got enough slack on those. The other thing to do before we start is I'm just going to squeeze this fabric in. So the littler baby is, the narrower this needs to go. So I'm just going to squish it in, because it's easier to make it wider once they're in than it is to scrunch it in and make it narrower. Okay, I'm now going to pick up my baby. So you want to hold baby with their head on your upper chest, so kind of just underneath your chin, so they're in a comfortable position. And with a real baby, they'll generally be in this kind of tucked up position with their little knees tucked up above their bottom and their hands on your chest. See, my doll doesn't naturally move like that, so I'm just having to move it into position. So all you do to begin with is just give them a cuddle with their head on your chest. And you know I said about having a bit of the panel between you and baby? I don't know if you can see here, but their bottom is slightly over the panel there. So I've got them held in a nice curled up position. So support them with one hand, and with the other you're going to slide your hand under the fabric, and then you're going to stroke this up over their bottom and back like that. Okay, so you're holding them across their shoulders. Now I have actually got this in the correct position for baby. You want it up to their earlobe but no higher. Now if this was coming higher than that, you can either hold baby slightly lower down like this. I'll show you what that does. So if I hold baby slightly lower down, you can see this now comes up to here. So that's made it shorter. So you can hold them slightly lower down, providing their head's still on the upper part of your chest, so on the solid part. Or the other option would be you can just shift the waistband up a little bit, which would have the same effect as basically shortening the panel between you. Again, if it's not quite coming up to their earlobe and you want it a little bit higher, so hold baby very slightly higher like this. and slide this up. So this is now coming up. Now it's obviously too high because that's going up over their ear, so I wouldn't want it that high. So basically you can play about either with exactly how high you hold baby or where you put the waistband. So you can either move the waistband up and down, or you can just adjust baby's height, but make sure their head is always on the solid part of your chest. Okay, so I'm happy that this is going to be the right height for baby. So put the hands up like that. Just slide your hand under and stroke this up so you're holding them across their shoulders like this. So the weight is taken by the carrier, so you're just supporting them gently across their shoulders. You take one strap and put it over one shoulder, and then hold baby with the other hand and put the other strap over the other shoulder. And you don't need to try and push these across or try and cross them, you just want them to go straight down over your shoulder like this. Okay, so they're both hanging down behind. Now you can start with whichever side you want, but what you're going to do is you're going to reach around behind and grab the strap on the opposite side. So with my right hand here, I'm reaching around to grab the strap that's on the left side. Now what I'm going to do to begin with is put it straight down. And can you see on the front, that's moving by tightening the strap right here. So you want to put it straight down first. Now what that does is that holds baby tightly against you, and also make sure that all the slack, so all the looseness of the fabric, is all around by the clip when you bring it round, rather than having it all loose by baby's head. So I'm going to go straight down, show you from behind, straight down, and then you bring it across. It's like an L shape. Go straight down and then across. Now I'm going to bring this around, and just above baby's knee, you'll find where the clip clips into. That one just there. So I'm going to clip that in like that. Now, if you look behind me, you can see that hanging down over here, I've got the tightener strap. So I'm going to reach around here, and then with the tightener, I want to put it at 45 degrees. It's going to go in that direction here. So you don't want to put it down, you don't want to put it across, you want to put it diagonally. Okay, so I'm reaching around and I'm going to pull it in. If you've watched the strap at the front, you'll see it tighten. So I'm pulling that diagonally across there. So it's coming across. So you want it to go in line with where it's clipped into. So you want it to hold baby nice and snug. And then what I tend to do is I just take this and just tuck it over here. What this does is, it means it's out of the way when I'm doing the next one, so I don't accidentally grab the wrong one. And it also means if I do need to tighten it again, it's nice and convenient. So now I've got that one snug, I'm going to hold baby with the other hand and do exactly the same on the other side. So I'm going to reach round, and I'm going to grab the strap on the opposite side. You will have two straps there, so it's often easier to grab both, because if you're not sure which one is the buckle and which is the tightener, so you can see that there. So again, I'm going to go straight down to hold baby snug, and then I'm going to bring this around, bringing both of them around, and I'm going to clip it in just above their knee here. So it goes click, and then reach round, and there should only be one hanging down because we've tucked the other one away. You're going to reach this one and put it diagonally, so down towards your hip, to make sure it's nice and tight. So key things with any baby carrier are, firstly, you can see their face and they've got clear airways. So you want this no higher than their earlobe. Check they feel nice and snug against you, and also check that their knees are in that nice tucked up position. Now a real baby naturally does curl up into that position. My doll doesn't. But you want to make sure their knees are ideally above their bottom, and it's what's called an M position. So if you were going to draw from the front, you've got the bottom and then the knees and the legs coming straight down. Now if it needs to go wider, you can gently ease this out, or if it needs to go narrower, you can gently bring it in. And it's nice because it's really adjustable in width, so it will go really quite narrow for a smaller newborn, or wider as their legs get bigger. So the key things are nice clear airways, nice and snug against you, and if you're not sure if it's tight enough, good way to check is you rest your hand on the back of baby's head, gently lean forward and check their body doesn't pull away from you. If you do need to tighten it, you're going to reach around. You've got this one here, and then this one, which you remember I tucked out the way. You can take both of them and you can pull them diagonally. Again, I find just tucking them out the way once I've got them in position means they're not dangling down, but it also makes it really easy to find them. If you suddenly go, well, you know what, I want to tighten one side, it's right at the side here rather than having to reach around behind. So make sure they're nice and snug against you, and then check them in a nice comfy position like that. So that is one method of using this. There's another method as well. So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's some little clips on the side here. So for a littler baby, you may find it more comfortable for you or for baby to actually have it clipped into here rather than these coming around here. Now you can do it with them crossing like this and reaching around. So instead of me clipping it into here, I'd have clipped it around there. But for a lot of people, I've got very flexible arms. For a lot of people, they find that quite a long way to reach around on their baby. So I've got another method I'm going to show you where we can do it up with the clip behind, which is that bit that I said not to lose when you first get it out of the bag. So what I'm going to do is take baby out of here now, and then I'm going to show you an alternative method. So to get them out, hold them with one hand and unclip one side, like that. Hold them with the other hand and unclip the other side. And then you can just gently bring these over your shoulders and you can lift baby out. Right, so the next method I'm going to show you is going to have the straps going straight over your shoulders rather than crossing. So I'm going to take one of these straps and just follow it in a straight line so the buckle comes around and clips into here. So you're almost making it like a rucksack, and just make sure that's all nice and straight with no twists in it. I'm also going to tighten that up very slightly. Okay, we do the same with the other. So put it straight out and around and clip it in. So you've got the two going straight like that. So you can use it clipped into those side ones that I've just clipped it into here, which are the ones we've just used here. But as I just said, you can also clip it into these ones. So if you want to do that, I'm just going to swivel this around so it's halfway around so you can see. So I'm going to unclip from the one on the body here, and I'm just going to clip it into the one on the waistband instead. So it's going in the same way around, so you get a nice straight loop going around. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Take this and you're going to clip it straight in there. And again, make sure that it's going nice and straight round, so when it goes over your shoulder it's not twisted. So then when you look from the front, you'll see you've got these coming out the sides here. So that's what it looks like. Okay, now the little clip that I said about, mine is still attached to the bag, so I'm just going to take one clip off by sliding it off here and the other clip off by sliding it off there. Now I find to attach it, the easiest way is if you clip it together first, because otherwise you can end up with it twisted. So clipping it together, so if you look at the side, you've got kind of a curve over the top and you want both the curves to slot together like that so it goes snap. Then if you look on these straps here, you've got two sets of little tabs that you can attach it to. So it will depend on how tall you are and also how tall your baby is as to which you're going to use. So the best thing to do is just try it on each one. I'm going to do it on the top one for now. So what I'm doing is I'm just sliding this in through here so it's hooked on. And I'm going to go across and do the same on the other side. You can do it either way around, it doesn't matter, but so they end up like that with the tightenery bit on the outside. So on the side by these Velcro bits there. Okay, and then to get that undone, you just squeeze the middle bit there with your fingers and pull that across. So we've got the clip on there and we've got these done up. Now you can leave that clip on there all the time if you want to. I tend to take it off if I'm crossing the straps just because then it doesn't ever sort of sit uncomfortably behind me, but you can leave it on there absolutely fine. Right, now we've got that all set up, we can pick up our baby. So the principle with positioning the waistband is exactly the same as it was for the crossing straps. So if you're not sure what I mean about that, just have a little check back to the start of the video where I talk about positioning. So you want to give baby a cuddle with the head on your upper chest, and then you're going to slide this panel up from by their bottom, so you stroke it up so you're holding them across their shoulders. And again, you want to make sure this is coming up no higher than their earlobe, so they're held nice and secure, but they've got nice clear airways. Okay, so just check that's nice and smooth over them. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take one strap like this and you're going to put it over your shoulder. Just make sure that clip, this bit here, is sitting nicely behind you. So I'll just put that over my shoulder like that. And I'm going to do the same with this one. So I'm going to put this up over my shoulder like this. Okay, and then make sure all of the slack is coming over here, so all the loose stuff is behind you. Okay, so do that on both sides, so all the loose stuff is here. Now if this is very loose, you're going to want to tighten it a tiny bit before you start, but we don't want to fully tighten it until we've done the clip up behind. So I'm just tightening this up a little bit so baby is held securely like that. And then what I'm going to do is going to slide my hands up here and reach for the clip without catching my hair, and I'm going to do it up behind me. So I'm just going to literally slide those two together like that. I'm going to keep hold of that with one hand and then hold baby. Okay, so first thing I want to do is find that clip and just tighten it up so that it holds these straps the right distance on my shoulder. So I want these to lie flat on my shoulders, so tighten it up so it's sitting nicely on your shoulders. Then keep one hand on baby and you're going to reach round and you're going to pull this one straight down. So before we pulled them diagonally, now we're pulling straight down because that's where the webbing's coming from. So you're going to go straight down and do it a little bit on either side until baby is held nice and secure on you. So just like with the previous method, check, you can see their face and they've got clear airways, but it's no higher than their earlobe. Check they're nice and snug against you so they can't slump, and check their little knees are tucked up towards you so they've got a gentle curve to their spine. Knees above bottom with that kind of M position on here. Now it's a really different feel having this clipped around here. It spreads the weight very differently on your back, same with having it clipped behind. Some people find this movement easy, some people find it harder, so it's worth trying both methods to see what feels comfortable for you. As I said, you can also have these clipped round into here with it clipping behind your neck as well if you prefer, so you can try both methods. Okay, now if this ends up very close to your neck, so it's feeling a bit uncomfortable, you can put it through the lower loops. So I've got it on the top one here, which for me is about right, because if it was lower down it'd be quite hard to reach. But depending on how tall you are, how big baby is, and just your build, you may want to have it on the lower one so it's not so close to your neck. But again, the key things are you can see their face and they've got clear airways, they're nice and snug, and their knees are in a comfy tucked up position. If you feel you need to tighten it anymore, you can take these ones here, the ones hanging straight down, and again you bring them straight down to tighten them up, which will tighten up the straps here. Okay, now these are hugely long, so if you need to tidy them away once you've got it set, you can see there's a little bit of elastic around here. So I'll do it here so you can see. So what you do is you roll the strap up so your elastic is sticking out. You can roll it up around, and you can do this when you're crossing them as well. Roll it around to make it a bit shorter. So I've got that now rolled up like that, and then I'm going to take that bit of elastic and I'm going to just bring it back and sort of turn it over so it goes over the webbing like that, and that's what that's done, is it just makes it shorter. So if you look at how long that one is and how short this one is, you can then like leave it hanging straight down. If you want to, you can just tuck it through to get it out the way, whatever you want to do once you've tightened it, or you can just leave it hanging like that. Okay, so that's the secondary method of putting your newborn into the mini monkey baby carrier. To get them out, we're going to reach up behind the neck, and I don't know if you can see this, but you're going to squeeze and then pull. So you squeeze the outside of the clip with one hand like that, and then you pull the other part out. Now baby is still held once you've undone it, but then you need to hold baby with one hand, bring one strap off one shoulder, hold them with the other, bring the other one off the other shoulder, and then you can gently hold baby on the inside and you can lift them out. So that's how to use the mini monkey baby carrier to carry a newborn. I'm going to do another video which will show you how to use it for a larger baby, a taller baby, but that's for a newborn. And I hope that was helpful.